Hey everybody, Matt from Red Paw here. Today we're going to go over the state of ultralight fabrics in 2025. We'll go category by category, and the first will be backpacks and bags, then stretch fabrics, then apparel fabrics, and finally quilt fabrics. So stick around to see my take. So we're going to start off the packs and bags category with my favorite all-around fabric, which is the Ultra 200X made by Challenge Sailcloth. To me, this is the perfect blend of durability. It's lightweight, it's tough, it can be seam taped. It's just generally my favorite, and it's my customer's favorite too. Ultra 200X is by far and away the most popular fabric sold in the last couple years. So I'm putting this at my favorite all-around fabric. Yes, it is expensive, so keep that in mind if you're going to do this for a DIY project at home. But to me, the performance is really stellar on this fabric. And I'll give you a little ASMR because it is crinkly, and that's something you'll notice with a lot of these fabrics. They're laminates. They are crinkly to start with, and eventually will get more quiet over time as you use them. These aren't going in any particular order, but next, and this is a new fabric from Ripstop by the Roll, this is the Venom Gridstop Eco. The reason this is on here is it's the highest UHMW PE content, aka these little white fibers. They've reduced the grid size so that there's a lot more of the Dyneema fibers built into it. Another reason it's higher up on this list is there's a thick PU coating on the back, and that adds a lot to the water resistance, which normally you wouldn't expect much from a ripstop nylon like this, but that thicker PU coating does really make a difference, and it also makes a difference when sewing too. I've noticed that it's a lot easier to sew. I really like the Venom Gridstop Eco. Next up is the Ultralight Graphite fabric. This is a pretty new fabric. I'd say maybe a year, maybe two old. We've seen companies like Nashville Packs, Durston Gear, they're using this stuff for their bags. It's very interesting to me. I haven't had much time to test it other than making this fanny pack with it. I will say something weird is the roll size is very small. I think it's about 37-inch roll width, so you kind of have to keep that in mind when you're going to make a project with it. I don't know too much about this other than using it for this one time. I still need to do more experiments, but I know that this is highly regarded, so the Ultralight Graphite is right here on the list. Next up is Ultra Grid made by Challenge Sailcloth. This is just like you know with the original HDPE grid stop, but they've added double grids, double UHNWP grids. This is a really great light and versatile fabric. It's super tough, just like the Venom Gridstop Eco, but it comes in a lot of colors. So if you care about colors, you should probably go with the Ultra Grid. This is hard not to use. It's really wonderful and it has a nice supple feel to it. It's not stiff and it's not crinkly like the other laminates. This is more of a traditional bag fabric, so I think you'll enjoy using this. I will say the PU coating isn't as thick as the Venom Gridstop Eco, which means it can kind of pucker a little bit when you sew, so you have to kind of keep that in mind as you're working with it. Here's another fun offering from Challenge Sailcloth. This is the Ultra 80TX. This is another laminate. It's another crinkly one. There's also an 80X, which doesn't have a backing. But you can see here, this has a gray inner backing on it. I use this bag on a 14-day international trip to Europe to go to the Danish Outdoor Festival as like my one bag. I'm really impressed with this fabric. One, just based on looks alone, I think it looks very, very cool. But the performance was also good. The water resistance was good. The durability was good. Even on parts like this handle where I thought, if I'm going to stitch it just to the face fabric alone, it's going to pull out. No, I had 25 pounds in this bag and regularly held it by these side handles. Perfectly fine. This is a little hard to come by at the moment. You kind of have to know somebody or have a rep at Challenge Sailcloth to get it because it's new and it's in the developmental phase. I'm very excited to see where this fabric goes, and the 80X. From what I understand, the 80X isn't quite there. It's not super durable, but the TX version with the backing on the inside, no film, is really wonderful, and I look forward to using it more. If you've been around this space for long enough, then you know about Dyneema composite fabric, and this is DCF 5-ounce hybrid. This has the gray topo print printed by Ripstop by the Rolls Outdoor Ink program. I generally tend to do the 5-ounce fabric. I just find it to be a little more durable, and I actually like the stiffness of it. You can hear the crinkle. DCF does start out quite crinkly, but it will eventually get softer and less loud over time. I think this is a great choice. For my business right now, I mostly just use DCF5 for printed options and for extra color, but this is a great choice. The 2.9, in my opinion, is a little too light, but people have used 2.9 DCF packs just fine, and they've lasted long through hikes and more. So DCF is a great option, albeit expensive. This is another classic fabric. This is VX21 made by Dimension Polyant. This is a good middle ground for laminates because it's less expensive than, say, Ultra 200X. It's very durable. I'd say the only real con of this is it can't be seam taped because it has that film. It doesn't have that film backing on the inside. That said, this is a well-versed fabric in this community. VX21 is a fabric you can really trust. It's durable. Water resistance is great. Highly recommend this. It comes in a lot of great colors. This is teal. Awesome choice. Definitely you should try it. Very similar to the VX21, this is EPX200 made by Challenge Sailcloth. Again, same properties. I think the weights are very similar too. A little bit of different color choices, and the grid is different. So if you tend to like this square grid versus the Dimension Polyant diamond grid, that might be a consideration. In my opinion, these are practically interchangeable. One difference is EPX 200 is partially recycled, and that's a great thing. So look no further for a great all-around cheaper pack fabric. Now this time we have UX10 made by Dimension Polyant, this clear fabric right here. This is a new experimental fabric, at least to me it is. This is the first time I've ever used it. I will say it is very thin. It looks great. It's clear. There's also a black version, I believe. I don't necessarily trust this for making a whole backpack for a customer, but I was happy to make this for an EDC pack for myself to test out. I think in an application like this front pocket where it's not going to see a lot of abrasion or puncture, it's going to be just fine. I think on, say, like the bottom of a backpacking bag, it might be a little bit of a problem, or the back panel. It's still a very cool fabric, and it's very, very light. It's seam tapeable, which I did on the darts here at the bottom. It's worth a look. I'm not 100% sold. I think that it's a little difficult to justify the durability for the weight. That said, it's very cool, and I look forward to seeing if there's new iterations of this coming forward. This is a very, very neat fabric. Okay, so that concludes our section on packs and bags. There's a lot of fabrics I haven't mentioned. I will say an honorable mention is Hybrid E300. I think that's a really great, cheaper starter fabric that has great performance. There's a lot out there, and I can't possibly list it all in a video. I recommend checking out a couple of the vendors like Ripstop by the Roll, Discovery Fabrics, Rocky Woods. I'll link every vendor that I've gotten these fabrics from below. They'll have a lot of options. So next we're going to run straight to stretch fabrics. And these are the stretch fabrics that I use for bags primarily. So that's what I'm going to start with. And this is the Venom UL stretch mesh. This is used on all the stretch pockets of my bags. So backpacks, the top pocket of the fanny pack. This stuff is so light. It is 5 ounces a yard, I believe. It is just so durable. The abrasion resistance is great. I highly recommend using this stuff. It really is stellar. It's the best stretch fabric that I've used in a very, very long time. Next up is Ultra Stretch, made by Challenge Sailcloth. I'd say this is directly comparable to the Venom Stretch, made by Ripstop by the Roll. The only real difference to me is that they have extra colors offered by Challenge. Another great stretch fabric, super tough, perfect for your bags. Highly recommended. Venom Stretch Max is a really, really cool fabric. They've taken what they've done with Venom UL Stretch Mesh, and they've added more stretch. They've increased the size of the reinforcement grid. It is a really great choice, and if you're going to pick up some of the fabric, I'd probably recommend you try that first. It's newer in development. I have a feeling that the normal Venom stretch mesh is going to be a little tougher because the grid is smaller, but if you really value the stretch and you need more stretch in that pocket you're adding this to, I highly recommend you check out the Max version of the Venom stretch. Finally, the last stretch fabric I want to show you here is called Spandura. I've primarily gotten this from Seattle Fabrics over the years. This used to be the top pocket on the fanny packs and used in a lot of my bags. It has the most stretch of any pocket fabric that I can come up with. I'd say the only true con, well, there's two, of this fabric is durability. It tends to pill. It tends to get abraded and pill up and eventually start some holes because it doesn't have that ripstop grid like the Venom Stretch or Ultra Stretch fabrics do. The other one is weight. This is a little over 9 ounces per yard. So it ends up being about double that of the Venom or the Ultra Stretch. So I don't know if I should tell you to get this or not. Honestly, it's about the same price. I would just go for Venom or Ultra Stretch instead, but it's still a great fabric and it still has a great use case for it too. So in my spare time, I tend to work on fun apparel projects, and that's where this list comes from. It's fabrics that I've used for stuff for myself. And one of my favorite apparel projects is shorts. I live in Florida. I wear shorts a lot. I've made about a dozen pairs using the Learn MYOG pattern, and I want to show you my favorite fabric of all time for making those. This is called the Adventure fabric in the tan color. This is sold by Discovery Fabrics. I don't know what it is, but the stretch is just right. The durability is just right. These are perfect for casual wear because of the look. It's less of like an athletic or Patagonia baggies look like the nylon Tasman would be. I just love this fabric. I need to make more stuff with it. It's a little expensive, but gosh, it is worth it. I love this choice. The Adventure is great. Tan color is my favorite, but there's a couple colors on there. Highly, highly recommend these. So I was talking about making shorts, and here's another pair. This is made from nylon Tasman or Supplex. This stuff is cheap. It dries fast. There's a lot of colors. I really like this stuff. There's a lot of versions from a lot of vendors. I actually like the one from Ripstop by the Roll the most. I think just the look and the colors really turned out nicely. I wear these to do my sports outside, to go swimming, go to the beach, just casually during the workday. I'm always wearing these shorts, and I'd say most of my pairs are out of the nylon Tasman. I really, really enjoy having these because they're so quick dry and light. So this is a great choice from Ripstop by the Roll, but basically every usual suspect vendor is selling this stuff, and it's not expensive. So I highly recommend this. It's tough too. So this is a new fabric for me. This is a Scholler fabric. And the reason I got this, even though it's very expensive, was I got a pair of Lundhags pants on my trip to Europe this year. And as an American, Lundhags is not a brand I was super familiar with, but I saw that all the Danish guys had these pants. So I said, okay, let me get the pants. Let me see what the hype is about. I love those pants, and they're using this fabric. It's blocked, so there's like parts that are stretch and parts that are like a wax cotton of some kind. But this is the stretch portion, and I got this in red and orange. And yes, it is expensive. It's available on Discovery Fabrics and maybe a couple other places, but it's kind of a rare one. I think this is a really cool fabric. I really love the stretch. I thought the durability was great. So this is kind of an interesting one I'm still experimenting with, but it's worth checking out if you're working on something for pants or shorts that need some stretch. So if we're going to talk about apparel fabrics, we have to talk about fleece, and we have to talk about Alpha Direct. This is Alpha Direct 60. This was printed by Ripstop by the Roll with one of my photos, the photos of El Cap and Yosemite. I really like how the print turned out. I thought it was so cool. It looks like I'm wearing a giant rock over my torso. It's almost like a camo. This is 60 Alpha Direct, but there's also 90 and there's 120. You pick whatever you need based on your warmth. Haven't had all of them. I kind of prefer the 60 the most because I just run hot, but great choice. Really great for a DIY. If you're looking for super duper cheap fabric, Alpha Direct fabric, go to Fabric Direct 1 on Etsy. They don't sponsor me or pay me anything, but it is cheap. It's really, really a good deal, and sometimes you'll get some bonus fabric. So Alpha Direct had to be name dropped. It's a great choice, and it's perfect for doing a pullover, doing a zipper hoodie. I think my pullover in Alpha 60 weighs under 4 ounces. I think it's like 3.7 with the printed stuff. So highly recommend. Definitely check it out. Ripstop by the Roll has great prints too if you're looking for something custom, but beware, it is a little more expensive. So if you're looking for warmth, because we're still talking about fleece, this is the Polartec High Loft. This is so thick and warm. I brought this on my trip to Denmark. I brought this in a puffy coat, and I was good. It got down to freezing temperatures, and I had this and the puffy, and that's pretty much it. High Loft is super warm. It's a little heavier. I think this zipper up hoodie is 12, 14 ounces, something like that. So it's a lot heavier than Alpha Direct. This is in a cool camo print. I think I got this from Discovery Fabrics as well, but I'm pretty sure the Etsy store has it too. High Loft is really great for the cold person in your life. I really loved using this, and I look forward to wearing it more.
Hello, beautiful people. I'm kind of impressed by the shirt. Skål. Skål.
So since we're still on the topic of upper layers, this is my favorite choice for a sun hoodie. This is the Polartec Power Dry Lightweight. You can see it has a great amount of stretch. It's thin enough that you can see my hand through it, so it's nice and breathable. The sun protection was good. There's a lot of choices you can do when you make a sun hoodie, but this is super duper light, pack small. This is actually very similar to what I had on a Patagonia t-shirt that I really enjoyed. I think the t-shirt was under 3 ounces. My hoodie is not much. It might be 5 ounces or so. Highly recommend the Power Dry Lightweight. Super great. And this blue color is just to die for. Love it. So this might be a weird choice to recommend for apparel, but it actually works great. This is Hyper D 1.0 from Ripstop by the Roll. This is a wind shell that weighs about 3 ounces, 3 to 4. It is super duper light. It packs down to nothing. And it just ends up making a great material. I used to use this for the dog quilts, and it was a great choice for that too, particularly for using something with Climate Shield Apex or synthetic insulation. But this just worked so great. Great for wind stuff. I've also had wind pants, same orange, same Hyper D, and they've lasted 6 years, 7 years, I believe, on all my trips out in Colorado, and love this as a choice. It's a great budget option for wind protection clothing. Final choice for apparel is Polartec Power Grid. This is a side with, I don't know if it's brushed, but it's definitely a smooth outer side, the right side, and then a grid on the inside. Stretch is great. Price is great. This color is great. You probably have seen this. This has been around for a long time, and it's used on a lot of garments that you'd pick up at a big box store, and it's really inexpensive. So this is a great practice fleece for doing garments. It ends up being pretty light too, so highly recommend Polartec Power Grid. So our final category is quilt fabrics, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a pack guy. I'm a bag guy. I don't do quilts that often. I do make the dog quilts for Red Paw, but quite frankly, beyond that, I don't have any experience working with down or anything like that. That said, I know what makes a good textile, and you've probably heard of Membrane 10. This is kind of ubiquitous. It's been around for a long time. It's light. I wouldn't say super duper durable. You can definitely hurt your UL quilt by doing a lot of stuff, maybe dog paws or a campfire, but this is one of the most commonly used fabrics, and for good reason. It's really light. The colors are great. It's super soft to the hand. Highly recommend this. Beware, it is a little expensive. Go figure. The other quilt fabric I wanted to show you is new from Ripstop by the Roll. This is 0.9 ounce membrane 15D Eco. This stuff has an even better touch. It's even softer. It's really light. It comes in so many good colors. This one is aqua. It's kind of like a nice teal, ocean teal. There's also marigold that I like, the blaze orange, of course. This is actually what I'll work with next if I choose to make another quilt. To be honest, this is just an upgrade in both weight and look. So highly recommend checking out the 15D Membrane Eco from Ripstop by the Roll. Okay, so that's my short list I've run through. That's just kind of what I put together in my mind as fabrics that kind of stood out to me as either fun new experimental fabrics or good all-around fabrics that have just worked. There's definitely going to be some people that will say, oh, you shouldn't have put Ultra 200X as your best all-around fabric. We can debate that in the comments. I think it's wonderful. My customers love it. I love it. That's it. That's where I'll leave it. I think that some of these will be a little questionable for certain things, and other things are definitely pushing the boundary of what will work and stay durable over time. But this is my list. It's not all ranked in order of what's best and what's not. It's just kind of what I've worked with, what I've liked. I chose to leave out other fabrics that I didn't like or just simply didn't want to put them in the video because the other ones seem more important. So thank you for watching. This is the state of ultralight fabrics in 2025. Let me know what I missed. And even more importantly, leave a comment that says fanny pack, and I'll give away a free fanny pack, color of your choosing, as long as I have it in stock, to the one commenter who wins. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.